The boy crouched low in the cave, his breaths echoing faintly against the stone walls. He had come seeking shelter from the relentless storms that ravaged the outer plains of the planet. The winds outside were more than ordinary gusts. They carried a strange electric charge that made the air hum, and sometimes set small rocks sparking with static energy. He had wandered for hours, guided only by instinct and the dim glow of his wrist lantern. At first, he thought he was alone. The cave seemed abandoned, a hollow in the jagged cliffs that few dared to approach. Shadows danced along the walls, shifting unnaturally as if alive. He tightened his grip on his utility knife, ears straining for the slightest sound, heart hammering in rhythm with the strange pulses of the storm. Then a voice came, soft but firm, echoing off the stones. "Don't be scared. I've been waiting." He froze. The voice was calm, familiar even, though he had never heard it before. Its timbre was neither male nor female, but something in between, melodic and soothing, like a song half remembered from a dream. The boy's pulse quickened, and for a moment, fear gripped him so tightly he felt paralyzed. But curiosity edged his caution, compelling him to answer. "Who's there?" His voice sounded small, almost swallowed by the cavern's immense silence. A figure emerged from the darkness, tall and slender, moving with a grace that seemed to defy gravity. Its skin glimmered faintly, reflecting the dim light in iridescent waves. Eyes, large and luminous, watched him with a mixture of amusement and expectation. The boy took a step back instinctively, but the figure did not advance. "I am Elira," the being said, bowing slightly, a gesture of acknowledgement rather than submission. "You do not need to fear me. I have been here long before your kind reached this planet." The boy's mind raced. He had read legends of the elder species, beings who existed before humans ever set foot among the stars, but he had never thought he would meet one. The stories had described them as powerful, wise, sometimes merciless, yet always elusive. He had expected something terrifying. Instead, Elira radiated a calm, almost gentle presence that made the cavern feel less oppressive. I didn't know anyone was here," he stammered. "I was just seeking shelter." "You are safe," Elira replied, stepping closer, the glow of her form casting subtle patterns across the walls. "Few come this far. Even fewer stay." The boy lowered his knife slightly, though he did not let it go entirely. There was something in her tone, an undeniable authority, yet it carried no threat. His fear began to ebb, replaced by a cautious wonder. How long have you been waiting?" he asked, voice barely above a whisper. "Longer than you can measure," Elira said. "I watch over those who wander here, those who show courage, even when it is born of fear." The boy swallowed, heart still racing. "Why me?" Elira's eyes glimmered with what seemed like amusement. "Because you are human, and humans are unpredictable. They possess a spark that no other species has, a capacity to change the course of worlds with a single choice. I sensed it when you entered. That spark led you to me." The boy felt a mixture of pride and uncertainty. He had always known humans were resilient, resourceful even in the harshest conditions, but he had never considered that his own life might matter on such a scale. He looked around the cave, suddenly aware of the symbols etched into the walls, strange and ancient patterns that pulsed faintly with light. "What are these?" he asked, stepping closer to examine them. "They are the markers of my people," Elira explained. "They tell stories, record events, preserve knowledge. Only those who are meant to see them can understand their meaning." The boy traced a finger along a swirling pattern, feeling a subtle vibration under his touch. It was as if the carvings responded to him, acknowledging his presence. A thrill ran through him, the realization that he had stumbled into a place far older and more mysterious than any human settlement. Will? Will you teach me? He asked, hope threading his voice. Illyra tilted her head. I will guide you. But first, you must understand that knowledge is not a gift. It is a responsibility. To see, to know, to act. Each step changes you. Are you willing to bear that burden? The boy nodded. He had faced storms, beasts, and uncertainty before. He could face this too. I am. Illyra extended a hand, and though he hesitated, he reached out. The contact was immediate and electric, a pulse of energy that flowed from her to him, filling his mind with visions. He saw worlds in turmoil, civilizations rising and falling, battles fought not with weapons alone, but with intellect, courage, and willpower. He saw humans standing against odds that seemed insurmountable, their creativity and resilience altering the balance of power across the stars. When the vision subsided, he gasped, staggering back. It's too much. I can't. I don't understand at all. Illyra smiled faintly, a gesture that felt like sunlight breaking through clouds. You will. One step at a time. But you have glimpsed the truth. Humans are rare among the stars, and those who recognize their potential often shape the destiny of more than their own kind. The boy felt a mix of awe and fear. The weight of responsibility settled on his shoulders, but it did not crush him. Instead, it ignited a fire, a determination to live up to the spark Illyra had seen dot as the storm outside subsided. Leaving the world washed in the soft glow of a distant sun, Illyra led him deeper into the cave. The walls widened, revealing chambers filled with relics, machines of incomprehensible design, and data crystals that hummed with information. Each step he took, he felt more connected to a history that spanned millennia, a lineage of guardians who had watched over countless worlds. You are not here by accident, Illyra said as they walked. The path you take now will influence what comes next. Humans often underestimate themselves. They see limitations, but I see possibility. The boy nodded. I want to do what's right. To help, to learn. Good, Illyra said. That is the first step. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. You have already demonstrated that by entering this cave alone. Now you must continue, with eyes open and heart steady. Days passed in the cave, though time seemed fluid. The boy learned to decipher the ancient markings, to manipulate the machines that stored knowledge beyond human comprehension, to harness energy that pulsed like a heartbeat through the rock itself. Illyra was patient, guiding without imposing, challenging without demanding. He began to understand the depth of human potential, how instinct, creativity, and perseverance could rival even the most advanced species. One night, as he sat beneath a crystalline arch that captured starlight in prismatic waves, he asked, Why have humans survived so long, Illyra? We seem so fragile. Illyra's luminous eyes regarded him thoughtfully. Fragile, yes, in appearance, but resilient in spirit. Humans endure not because they are strongest, but because they adapt, because they hope, because they refuse to surrender to despair. That spark within you? It is what I have waited for. It is why I spoke when I did. You are capable of more than you know. He felt a warmth spread through him, a mixture of pride and humility. For the first time, he sensed that his existence mattered beyond himself, that the choices of a single human could ripple outward and shape entire worlds. One day, Illyra led him to the edge of the cave, where the cliffs dropped into a valley bathed in golden light. A fleet of ships rested below, sleek and humming with energy. Other beings, smaller, less radiant than Illyra, moved among them, preparing for a journey that would span light years. You are ready, Illyra said softly. The next step belongs to you. Your journey will not be easy, and you will face trials that test every lesson you have learned here. But you will not be alone. You carry the spark of humanity, and that is enough to light the way." The boy looked down at the fleet, heart pounding with anticipation and fear. He had started this journey seeking shelter, seeking safety. Now he faced the vast unknown, a chance to shape not only his destiny, but the future of countless beings across the stars. "Will I see you again?" he asked, voice trembling. Alira's form shimmered in the sunlight, ethereal and commanding. "Perhaps, perhaps not. But remember this, the spark I saw in you does not depend on my presence. It is yours to wield. Trust it, nurture it, and you will never be truly alone." With that, she stepped back into the shadows of the cave, fading from sight, leaving the boy at the precipice of a future he could barely imagine. Yet fear no longer held him. He was ready. Humans were resilient, unpredictable, capable of greatness, and now he was a part of something larger than himself. He took a deep breath, squared his shoulders, and began his descent toward the fleet. Each step carried him forward, not just across the rocky terrain, but into a destiny that had been waiting for him all along. The storm had passed, and in its wake, the boy felt a clarity he had never known. The stars above were countless, but he understood now that even one human, driven by courage and determination, could shine brighter than an entire galaxy dot. And so, he walked toward the future, carrying the spark that Alira had seen, ready to face whatever the universe had in store, knowing that humans were never truly alone when they trusted themselves and each other.